Welcome back to the 10th Isle, the place where we talk about games, books, movies, what we've been playing, we've been doing, all the stuff that is going on, just to keep the discussion going with you guys. Let's get into it right away. So this week is going to be pretty game heavy, because we are coming hot off the heels of E3. Man, E3 is a heck of a thing. I tend to watch a lot of coverage every year. I try to watch as many of the conferences as you can. And this year was weird, with PlayStation not being there. Man, who knew what to expect? Usually they have a pretty good show, excluding last year. That was a pretty weird show, if you ask me, but that's one man's opinion. I could be completely out of my mind on that one. I don't think I am, though. So let's just talk about some of the conferences, and then we'll talk about what we have been playing in our limited time, as I've actually been away from the computer for quite a bit over the past week or so. So let's talk about Xbox. I feel like, man, they hit it out of the park, huh? Some really good game announcements. You had some Gears 5 in there I thought was really cool. Very neat stuff with all that. The xCloud and the Project Scarlet announcing and I guess going to be potentially releasing in that holiday window of 2020. Sounds really interesting. The beautiful service for games on PC, the Xbox stuff, that sounds like that's going to be really interesting. I believe right now you can still get it for $1 for a trial. I think that's for 30 days, but I'd have to double check that. We'll put a link down in the description so that you can definitely go ahead and check all that stuff out too. I think I might actually sign up for that because you get Sea of Thieves in the Game Pass. That's what it's called, the Xbox Live Game Pass. They released it for the PC and an ultimate version for both PC and the Xbox console, which I'm not sure why you would need both, but okay, sure. So all that stuff around Xbox sounded really great, and then out of nowhere, of course, Cyberpunk 2077 hits it clean out of the park with Keanu Reeves, and apparently we're all breathtaking. We already knew that, but yeah, that game looks like it's going to be phenomenal. All the commentary we've seen about it sounds great. All the stuff we've seen about it sounds even better. So, did Xbox win E3? Oof. Pretty close. Pretty close. Before we talk about who did, let's talk about somebody who really barely showed for me. That would be Ubisoft. If Ubi didn't show Watch Dogs Legion, would anybody have paid attention? Probably not. I didn't really see anything else from them that was like, oh, yeah, that's gonna be good. Didn't really see anything. And I don't think that's any fault necessarily of their own, but they opened with that pretty cool. Some people were very critical of it. They opened with that cool orchestral thing with all the Assassin's Creed. I thought that was really neat. I tend to be okay, a little hot and cold on some of the Assassin's Creed games just because so many icons on the map and just a weird grind, and the kind of pay to win almost in some of the later ones is a little bit too much. And the combat is weird. Yeah, don't get me started on those. But Watch Dogs Legion looks really cool. You could be a grandma and start tasing people to help the resistance. That just sounds amazing. But I feel like they didn't really have a strong showing. And we should move on to the next one that really didn't have a strong showing, and that'd be EA. But I didn't watch anything on EA, so I'm just going to assume that they didn't. You can let me know down in the comments what you thought about EA's conference. I didn't watch it. probably nothing real great there anyway. Yeah, let me know. I didn't watch that one. But the one we really want to talk about is Bethesda, who had a pretty medium showing. Not great, not bad, not too exciting. The thing we want to talk about is Fallout 76 getting a BR mode? Eesh. Okay, I think that'll save it. When in actuality, the real thing that's going to save Fallout 76 is getting real dialogue trees and becoming an actual Fallout game. They also announced that you'll be able to play the game for free up until the 17th, which, as we're going through all this, I'm currently downloading it right now. I'm going to check it out and see if it's worth even bothering with. It's also 50% off, I believe, for that time period still, so it's kind of a weird deal. But maybe it would be good to pick it up now at a discount because it'll be awesome later. I don't know. Let me know if you've played Fallout 76. I have not played it at all. This is my plunge into it, so maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it'll be something we look into more later in the year when it becomes the game that we all hoped it was going to be. So the real gem, of course, from the Bethesda conference, Doom Eternal. Oh my. That game looks really good. Looks really good, top to bottom. The traversal, the monkey bars, just the glory kills, everything. Watching some stuff on Giant Bomb from the feedback with the two devs, it just seems incredible what they've done. They've redone everything from the ground up with the game, improved everything. It just could not look any better. Super excited about Doom Eternal. Might be one of the only games that I'm like, yeah, that's a buy. That's a buy on probably day one. Yeah. Not too many of those here from E3. Not too many. The rest of Bethesda stuff, that Ghostwire, that looked cool. The Loop game looked okay. Not much else to really like wow me personally, but maybe I'm just not wowable at any of these E3 conferences anymore. Maybe not. But then we had Nintendo, who I think is actually the winner of E3, if that's actually even a thing, with the Animal Crossing announcement. Even though it's delayed until 2020, Animal Crossing looks phenomenal, and it'll be my first adventure into the series, so I can't wait for that. The stuff they showed for Pokemon Sword and Shield could not have me more excited about a game. So much excitement around it that I actually showed my wife, and she is considering buying a Switch, which is weird because she's not a heavy gamer, but if we could get her into that, that would be awesome too. And then, not to be outdone, we had the new Zelda tease, the new Breath of the Wild sequel. Looking dark and really diving into the fantasy. Nintendo, how dare you? How dare you? That all looks really good. Not to mention that they announced a slew of games. Definitely go check out their conference. Unbelievable. We'll put the links to the conferences down in the description. Unbelievable stuff for sure with E3. So that concludes our kind of game coverage heavy part here. Let's get into what I've actually been playing this week. So I've only had a couple of days of actual game playing to do. So last week we actually played before I left for a work thing. I actually played some Overwatch with friends, and then just last night I played some more Overwatch with friends, and that was just the best. We did do our placements and all that stuff, but that wasn't that much fun. Once we started playing with friends again, beautiful. I did have a chance to play quite a bit of Pokemon Go with the wife. That's going to be a common thing here on this show, so get used to that. I have no idea what I caught. I have no idea if I even had fun. That game is a grind, and I'm probably only going to play it until Pokemon Sword and Shield come out. But it was a good good time, just getting out there and doing some stuff. And, man, I guess I should mention this. I played a little bit of Blades with my phone. Lol. Not the best. That game is still not good. I know it's early access, and I know they're bringing it to the Switch. But it's not a good game. I don't know if it will be a good game on the Switch either. But man, it might not melt my phone. It might melt the Switch. We played a little bit of that. Not real exciting stuff at all. Hopefully we'll play some more stuff in the coming week. And we'll have more to report out. Movies. Oh boy. Oh, movies. We did not watch any movies. I was so wrapped up in some other stuff with watching, and we just didn't get to it. So give me some movies. Maybe you've got some movies that are out there on like Hulu or anywhere else that you watch movies that you recommend. Maybe I should get into some of those. I was just talking to my wife this morning. Hey, we should try to catch up on that Marvel series, huh? And we both kind of smiled at each other. So who knows if we'll actually do that. We're super behind. Let's go ahead and just go right into books. So I am continuing. I finally have continued and hit a really good point in the current book I'm reading, One Door Away from Heaven by Dean Koontz. Huge Dean Koontz fan, so maybe this will be Dean Koontz heavy for a while. I'm really enjoying that book, and I just hit a really great point, like 300 pages into this book. I've been reading forever, off and on. Really enjoying it. Need to get some more in, but I'm going to continue it. I do recommend it, even though I'm like halfway through the book. I do recommend you check it out. Check out him as well. His books go on forever. I've read too many of them, I think, at this point, but I can always read more. Every time I go anywhere near where they sell books, I see a Dean Koontz book, and I'm like, I should probably buy that, right? I should probably buy that. And then I don't buy it, because I'm not done with the current one. So, yeah. The other thing, it's not a book. It's not a book, and I did promise a little bit of maybe political talk here. I have started to read that silly Mueller report. And you know what I don't like about it? Why is it redacted? I understand there's ongoing investigations, but why release it if you're going to redact it? So I've read maybe the first handful of pages and got so annoyed with all the redactions that I haven't picked it back up. But it's also like 400 pages too, so I don't know if we're going to get through that. Also, there's tons of crap going on politically that I was like, maybe I should read it. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't. I'll probably read it at some point. I will report out my thoughts when I actually get to that point. But I felt I should, in full transparency, let you know that I have started it. I'm considering continuing. Something. Yeah. So to wrap it up here with TV. What TV have I finally been getting into? Well, again, not too much. And I'll explain why here in a second. My wife and I are through the first 3 episodes of Handmaid's Tale. And I can tell you, I thought they were good episodes, not great episodes. Handmaid's Tale is kind of a push and pull with me. I loved the first season. The second season made me so angry. And then with the third season, I'm watching it because I just have to know what happens. But there are intricacies, no spoilers here, that just really get on my nerves. The constant pulling back after having progress is just silly to me. But what are you going to do? They released 3 of them at once. They could have done it one at a time. So I get to watch all 3 of them in one chunk. We haven't caught up onto the 4th one yet. Hopefully we'll get to that this week. Maybe we'll get to some other stuff as well. Maybe we'll get caught up in some shows. That would be great. The thing I have been watching that is kind of fully taken over is sports, which we won't really talk about too much on here, but I did watch the final 2 games of the NBA Finals. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. And I did watch the last game, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues. I now have no sports to watch for months until football starts. My goodness, it's going to be interesting. So that concludes our TV section here. I've been watching a lot of that. Anyway, that is going to do it here for all of we've been doing. As I said, I was out of town, so in the future these may not be so verbose, or maybe they will, depending on what is going on with me. I've been doing well. I hope you've been doing well. It's been nice to share all of this stuff here with you. Let me know some stuff that you want me to talk about. Maybe movies, games, books, TV, all that kind of cool stuff, and what you've been up to. Thanks for watching. Please come on back to the 10th Isle. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I hope to see you again soon.